सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नाम रूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धिर्द्रव्यत्व निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्त वेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः।
In the last class, we were seeing the answer to the second objection by the Purva Pakshi in the 46th Avarta. Dvitiyakshepasya Samadhanam, the answer to the second objection. And first, the Siddhanti restates the second objection. Yattu uktam prag anubhutasya eva vastunah prapti ichha jayate. And what was told by Purva Pakshi, that the desire for attainment is born only for the thing which was experienced earlier. And Brahmanah tu kenapi ananubhuta purvatvat tat prapti rupe mokshasya dvitiyanshe na kasyapi ichha jayate iti. Jayata iti. And whereas, since Brahma is not experienced by anybody earlier, therefore, for anybody, the desire regarding the second aspect of moksha, which is in the form of attainment of Brahma, would not be born. Iti uktam. Tad asat. Now the Siddhanti answers that what was told by Purva Pakshi is not true. Why? Sarvaihi sukhasya anubhutatvat sarvesham tatra ichha jayate. Since by everybody happiness is experienced, therefore for everybody tatra, with regard to happiness, desire is born. And Brahmanah cha nitya niratishaya sukhasvarupatvena sarva vedanta prasiddhatvat. And since in all Vedantas Brahma is well known as the one which is having the nature of permanent and unsurpassable happiness. Therefore means you have to capture two reasons. One is, for everybody the desire for happiness would be born, and in all Vedantas Brahma is known to be Sukha Svarupa. Therefore, sadhana chatushtaya sampannasya uttamadhikarinah Sukha Svarupa Brahma prapti ichha jayate eva. Therefore, the desire for attainment of Brahma, which is of the nature of happiness, is born indeed. For whom? For the person who is qualified with the fourfold qualifications, who is endowed with the fourfold qualifications, and who is Uttama Adhikari. So the idea is that the person who is Uttama Adhikari and who is Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna would have sufficient exposure to Vedanta, by which he will know that Brahma is Nitya Niratishaya Sukha Svarupa, and therefore for him the desire for attainment of that kind of Brahma would be born. And now for this, the Tippani Kara writes a Tippani. And he says that if this kind of rule was there, What kind of rule? That for anything experienced in general, the desire would be born. That is, for anything which is experienced, for that thing, desire would be born. If that kind of rule was there, then even with regard to something which is unfavorable, which was experienced earlier, such as disease and the suffering, financial loss, etc., caused by that disease, regarding those things also, there would be attainment of desire. However, that is not seen in the world. Therefore, what is the correct rule? Now he says that the correct rule is the desire would be born or is born only regarding the happiness, only regarding the happiness which is similar to the happiness which was experienced earlier, and regarding the means of happiness which was employed earlier.
That Sajati will go with both. No?
In second I forgot from so I will say again, desire is born only regarding the happiness which is similar to the happiness experienced earlier, and which is similar to the means of happiness which was employed earlier. This is the correct rule.
And which is favorable.
Yes. And which is favorable.
What is the simple meaning you understand? What is the niyama Siddhanta is suggesting?
That Siddhanta is saying that there will be desire only regarding the happiness and the means of happiness which was experienced as favorable earlier.
There will be desire for the happiness and means for happiness which were similar to the happiness and means of happiness experienced earlier. Slight different. Idea was same, but a bit more specific. Icha is in Sajatiya. Sajatiya to what? Sukha and Sukha Sadhana. And the Sukha Sadhana are experienced. So two things. Sukha and Sukha Sadhana are experienced, and similar to those Sukhas and Sukha Sadhana, there will be other Sukhas and Sukha Sadhana. For that, desire will be there.
And then he says that the happiness born of objects is established by experience of all, and that Vaishayikam Sukham is the reflection of Brahmananda. Tatahacha, and therefore means because desire will be born in regarding the happiness and the means of happiness which is similar to the happiness and means of happiness experienced earlier, and since everybody experiences objective happiness which is nothing but the reflection of Brahmananda, therefore for everybody desire would be born indeed, and in what? In Brahmananda, the Brahmananda which is permanent, unsurpassable, non-dual, and which is Bimba Bhuta, which is in the form of original, and which is Tat Sajatiya. That means Vaishayika Sukha, and which is similar to the objective happiness. And why it is similar? Because Vaishayika Sukha is Pratibimba Bhutam and Brahmananda is Bimba Bhutam, and that which is Bimba Bhutam is similar to Pratibimba Bhutam.
And Jati, the Sukhatva Jati is Samana. Both are Sukha. Brahmananda also is Ananda, Vaishika Ananda also is Ananda. So Anandatva Jati is Samanam, therefore Sajati. That is a technical way of saying.
And then it was in this depending also it was the doubt raised by Purapakshi was answered that by saying that for everybody the desire would be born in Brahmananda Prapti. And now in the 47th Avarta, the Siddhanti gives the answer to the third objection by Purvapakshi. Tritiyaakshepasya samadhanam. And again, first the objection is restated. Yat tavat abhihitam sarvah api lokah Vishayendriya Sanyogaja Sukham Eva Vanchati. And what was told by you, that the entire world of people desires only the happiness which is born of the contact of the sense objects and sense organs. And then Nahi etad asti mokshe advitiyatvat mokshasya dvaita prapanchayatatvacha vishaya sukhasya. And indeed, this is not there in moksha. This means Vishayendriya Sanyogaja Sukham is not there in moksha. Why? Because moksha is of the nature of non-duality, and this objective happiness is dependent upon the Dvaita Prapancha. And since moksha is of the nature of non-duality, the Dvaita Prapancha is not there in moksha, and therefore the Vishaya Sukha, which is dependent upon the Dvaita Prapancha, is not there.
How do you say moksha is advitya?
So in moksha, this kind of bhoktru, bhogya and bhoga triputi is not there. In that sense, moksha is non-dual.
That also is there. Another one is moksha is a Brahma Swarupa and Brahman is Advitya. Therefore, moksha is Advitya. That also is there. What you said also is there. That subject-object duality is not there. Happiness.
And then the Purvapakshi says that ataha adhikarinaha mumukshoho abhavat grantharambah nirartakah iti abhihitam. Therefore, because of the absence of a qualified seeker of freedom, the beginning of this text is futile. Iti. And for this, the Siddhanti now begins answering. He says, Tatra asti tavat prashtavyam. Tatra means with regard to this objection, firstly, the following thing should be asked. And what is it? Kim mumukshuhu eva nasti kashchidapi iti uchyate uta satiyapi mumukshau tasya granthe pravrittihi eva na jayeta iti. Whether any mumukshu alone is not there, in this manner it is said by you, uta, or even though mumukshu is there, still for him the engagement in this text would not be there. Iti prashtavyam. So Siddhanti asks these two questions to Purvapakshi, and from the next line he says that he says that the kim mumukshu eva nasti kashchidapi, this is not true. And he says na adyaha. The na adya means no, any mumukshu is not there. This is not true. And it is said sarvesham atyanta dukkha nivruttau nitya niratishaya sukhavaptau cha ichha darshanat. Why? Because of the observation that for everybody there is desire regarding attainment of permanent unsurpassable happiness and regarding the removal of dukkha completely. And it is said nishesha dukkha dvansa purvaka nitya niratishaya sukhasya eva moksha rupatvat. And moksha is in the form of permanent unsurpassable happiness preceded by the destruction of entire dukkha. Tasmat. So here tasmat means two things. For everybody, there is the observation of the desire regarding the removal of dukkha and attainment of sukha, and moksha is in the form of attainment of moksha is of the nature of unsurpassable happiness preceded by destruction of entire dukkha. Therefore, sarve api mumukshavaha eva. Everybody is mukshu indeed. So the answer given is that Purapakshi was saying that there is no mukshu, and we are answering that no. In fact, everybody is a mumukshu.
So Dvitiya Akshepasya Samadhanam was given that if you have experience of Brahman, then only you will have desire for Brahman. And you don't have experience of Brahman, how can there be desire of Brahman? For that, Siddhanti's simple answer was that everybody has experienced Sukha. And Brahman is Sukha Swarupa. Therefore, people will have desire for Brahman. And this idea, Puja Swamiji used to say that every experiential happiness is a window to appreciate what the wholeness Brahman is. It gives us a glimpse that the wholeness is my nature. It doesn't give clear knowledge, but it gives us a glimpse, a sense of possibility. Therefore, experiential happiness becomes the basis for the desire of limitless happiness. Like somebody has little money, he wants to have lot of money. Possible or not? If person did not know what is money, he will not have desire for money. But if he has little money, he can have desire for more money. In fact, he can say, I want to have that much money that will never be exhausted. Like some person was telling, he said, I want to earn that much money by age of 45, 50 that I don't have to work. Means till end of my life, money should last. So we get the idea from this that if you have experience of happiness to some extent, then you can have desire for the experience of you can have desire for happiness without limit. So experience of limited happiness can lead the person to the desire for limitless happiness. And therefore it is possible. And in the Tippani also that idea was given. The Brahmananda Pratibimba Bhutam Vaishayikam Sukham Ja Sarvanubhava Prasiddham. And the Purnatvam, Anantata of Brahman alone is manifested in the form of experiential happiness. And therefore, person will have the desire for that Ananda, which is the basis for our experiential happiness. And therefore, it is possible. Alright. Now, third Akshepa is being answered. The third Akshepa was that Vishendriya Sanyogaja Sukham Eva Vanchanti. Everybody wants experiential happiness only. And that is not possible in moksha. Because moksha is Advitiya Swarupa. And for Vaishayika Sukha, Dvaitam is required. Therefore, Vaishayika Sukha cannot be there in moksha. And everybody wants moksha. So, what people want, moksha doesn't have. And what moksha has, people don't want it. People may not care for it. Therefore, people will not have desire for moksha. And if moksha desire is not there, then adhikari will not be there, then this grantha, adhyana icha will not be there. Therefore, this composing the grantha will be useless. For that, Siddhanti is raising two questions. That what do you mean when you are saying that everybody wants Vishaya Sukha and therefore Mumuksha is not there and therefore Adhikari is not there, therefore Grantharamba is Nishphala? What do you mean by that? कि मुमुक्षु एव नास्ति कश्चित्? Do you want to say that there is no any mumukshu who would desire the moksha which we are talking about? Or you want to say that even though mumuksha may be there, satyapi mumukshu, mumuksha would be there, but tasya granthe pravrutti na jayat. There can be a mumukshu. Second option is, but that mumukshu will not have pravrutti in your grantha, Vichara Sagara. And for that also Siddhanti will ask that why he will not have pravrutti? Because some better text is there. What is the reason? He will ask. But now, right now, he is raising this second option. That do you mean to say that mumukshu can be there, but mumukshu will not have engagement in this grantha? Tasya granthe pravrutti eva na syat na jayeta iti na adya. Now first one. Second one will be taken up later on. Na adya. First one, that mumukshu eva nasti kashchid. That is not correct. Why? Because everybody wants to be free from dukkha completely. Everybody wants maximum happiness. And that is what moksha is. Therefore, sarve api mumukshava eva. Everybody wants dukkha nivrutti sukha prapti. That is what moksha is. Therefore, everybody wants moksha. So you said no mumukshu. That is not correct because everybody is mumukshu. Alright. Then, Siddhanti is answering one more point which Purvapakshi had raised in a different manner. Purvapakshi had told that Vaishikam Sukhameva Abhilashanti, and that particular objection is now specifically he is raising and answering. Vaishikam Eva Sukham Sarve Abhilashanti. All Abhilashanti, desire Vaishikam Eva Sukham. They want the moksha, they want the objective happiness alone. Iti, in this manner, etat, this, what was told by you, iti etat uktam, we have to supply uktam, that tat asamanjasam. Asamanjasam is anupayuktam, unintelligible, unreasonable. That you are saying that all people want only objective happiness, object related happiness. That is not logical. That is not reasonable. Kintari, then what is that? What do people want? Kintari sarve vanchanti. If this is the question, answer is that sarve sukha samanyam ichanti. So Siddhanti is making correction in the thinking of Purvapakshi. Purvapakshi, what he said? That everybody wants Vaishayikam Sukham. Vishaya related Sukham. For that Siddhanti says, that is not correct. Everybody wants Sukham. Sukha Samanyam Ichanti. All want happiness in general. Tacha Sukham Vishayajanyam Vastu Taditaradva. And that happiness, let it be born of objects or let it be something else. It is something like a villager comes and asks for Colgate. It is not really that he is interested only in Colgate. But he thought that toothpaste means Colgate only. Therefore, if you say that see other toothpaste is 1 rupees less, हमको वो दे दो, हमने क्या होगा? दांत साफ होगा ना? Teeth will be clean, yes. That's what he wants. But not knowing that other things also are available, other things are also there and can be used for the same purpose, he may be thinking like this. So similarly, really speaking, if we analyze, all people want happiness. And that happiness can be Vishayajanyam Sukham or other one. It can be anything else. And he said, how there can be any other Sukha? How can there be any Sukha other than Vishaya Sukha? Siddhanta says, yes. He says, Yadi Vishayajanya Sukhameva Icchanti iti Uchyeta Tarhi Sushupti Sukhe Nasyadeva Icha Kasyachidapi Vishayajanyatva Tasya. Siddhanta is telling, Yadi, if Vishayajanya Sukhameva Icchanti Sarve, if you say, iti Uchyeta, Yadi Uchyeta, if it is told by you that people want, Icchanti, people want happiness born of object alone, if this is what is told by you, then Tarhi, then Sushupti Sukhe Nasyadeva Icha, then there will not be desire for the happiness in Sushupti, happiness of Sushupti, deep sleep. Nasyadeva Icha, nobody would have desire for the happiness of Sushupti. Kasyachidapi, for anyone. For anyone, there will not be desire for happiness of deep sleep state. Why? Vishayajanyatva tasya. Because the Sushupti Sukha, the happiness of deep sleep, is not born of objects. So if your rule was correct, that everybody wants Vishaya Sukham alone, means Vishaya Janya Sukham alone, then nobody will have desire for Sushupti Sukha, because Sushupti Sukha is not born of object. Any particular Rupa Rasa Gandha is not. And therefore your rule is not correct. That's what he says. Ataha. Therefore, you have to correct your rule. Sukha Samanyam eva sarve api icchanti. All people, sarve api, all people desire, sarve api is emphasized. All people without exception, all people icchanti desire sukha samanyam eva. This happiness in general alone. Na vaishika sukham eva. Not just happiness born of objects alone. Iti niyamaha. Na vaishikam sukham eva iti niyamaha. In fact, na goes with niyama. And vaishikam sukham eva icchanti iti niyamaha na. That type of rule is not there. That they want vaishikam sukham eva. So, ataha. And ataha means what? Purvokta vyabhichara darshanat. Since vyabhichara is there, that Sushupteo api ichha asti. Therefore, Sukha Samanya eva sarve api icchanti na vaishika sukham eva na sarve api Sukha Samanyam eva icchanti. One idea. All desire Sukha Samanyam alone. And vaishika sukham eva sarve api icchanti iti niyamaha na. So, na should be connected with niyama. Is it clear? Huh? See, here he has combined these two ideas. Ataha sukha samanyam eva sarve api icchanti. One idea completed. And vaishayika sukham eva sarve icchanti iti niyamaha na. All people desire objective happiness alone. This type of rule is not there. It is not that Sukha Samanya Sarve Icchanti na Vaishikam Sukham eva iti niyama. That is not there. So, there one idea is clear. One idea is over. So, simple words, that people want happiness in general. It is not a rule that they want only Vaishayika Sukham. Vaishayikam Sukham also is possible. They want, of course, they want that Vaishayika Sukham also, but not Vaishayika Sukham alone. It is something like, people want to enjoy their meal. It is not that they want to enjoy only sweet meal. Sweet meal also they will enjoy, and this sour also they will enjoy, and the other one also they enjoy. Khali, you imagine, that you are only given sweet. एक दिन शायद चलेगा क्या नहीं चलेगा
एक दिन
चलेगा full only. But imagine breakfast, lunch, dinner, sweet. Next day, no, you want other things also. In fact, have you tried any time only sweet?
One meal I can try.
Tried?
One meal.
You have tried?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So I would like to say. So whole day in ashram you
No,
tried?
one meal, not whole day. One
meal.
Yes.
Means only sweet you had.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh, that's very good. He tried here?
Not here.
Okay. No, that's also great. Have you tried?
Yes, Swamiji.
Yeah?
Yes, Swamiji.
Only sweet.
Lapsi.
Acha?
When mummy makes lapsi, I eat only lapsi.
Good, that's nice. But it can be one meal is
Yes,
okay.
only one meal.
So you cannot say that everybody wants lapsi only. Now some people will ask me, what is lapsi? Lapsi is a type of sweet made in Gujarat. So Gujarat and other parts of the country also, North India. Alright, so Siddhanti wants to say that people want Vaisheka Sukham, agree. But don't say Vaisheka Sukham eva de vanchanti. They want Sukham. They want a what is called tasty meal. Like example, not that this type of meal only. Similarly here, Vaisheka Sukhameva vachanti iti niyamana Sukha Samanyameva ichanti. Pratyuta. On the other hand, Sarvesham Pratyaham, for all, Pratyaham Sushupti Gamanat. Pratyaham is every day. Sushupti Gamanat. Because of their going to sleep. Because every day they are going to sleep. Therefore, Swatma Sukha Sukhecha Eva Jayate Sarvesham. Iti Vastu Sthiti. So this is the Vastu Sthiti, means the state of reality. What is that? Swatma Sukhecha Eva Jayate. So everybody has the desire for the Sukha of oneself. How? Shushupti Gamanat. By going to the sleep, or through going to the sleep, they want only Swatma Sukham. Iti Vastu Sthiti. Sarvesham, for all, Pratyaham, every day, Sushupti Gamanat, by going to the sleep, there is a desire for the happiness of oneself. Iti Vastu Sthiti. That is the reality. That is the state of reality. Sthiti means state. Vastu means reality. So what is said in this sentence? That everybody wants Vaisheka Sukha. That is not the rule. On the other hand, the state of reality is that every day people are going to sleep. Shushupti Gamanat Heto Swatva Sukhecha Eva Jayate. Everybody has got a desire for the happiness of oneself. So Sushupti Gamanat can be taken as a Hetu for Vastu Sthiti. Sushupti Gamanat Swatva Sukhecha Eva also can be there, but better is Sushupti Gamanat Vastu Sthiti. Since people are going to sleep every day, therefore Sarvesham Swatva Sukhecha Eva Jayate. Everybody wants the happiness of oneself. Between the Atmananda, they want some Vishayananda also. Night Atmananda, in between Vishayananda, again Atmananda. So everybody wants Swatma Sukham. Alright. Then somebody may say that Shushupti Sukha and Swatma Sukham, how do you connect? He has got the Shushupti Sukhecha. How do you say Swatma Sukhecha? For that he gives the explanation. Sukham aham aswapsam iti paramarshena niratishaya saushupta sukhasya atmaswarupa sukhatvena nishchitatva. Sukham aham aswapsam. I slept happily. iti paramarshena, by this type of recollection, by the recollection in this manner that I slept well, niratishaya shoshupta sukhasya, the happiness of deep sleep state which is unsurpassable, atmaswarupa sukhatvena nishitatvat, this soshupta sukha, the happiness born of deep sleep state, is well asserted as the sukha of the nature of Atma. This is the sukha born of nature of Atma, Ananda Swarupa of Atma. It is not the happiness coming from anywhere. When external source is not there and still happiness is there, so that happiness should belong to what? Belong to Atma only. So Soshupta Sukhasya, Soshupta Sukha is well ascertained as the happiness of the nature of Atma. It is the happiness which belongs to the nature of Atma. Is it clear? Sukham aham aswapsam. Every day person has got the experience of happiness during sleep state. That is first thing. By Paramarsha, what is established? I slept well. This type of recollection is there. Smriti is there. Smriti is Paramrishta. I slept well. And Yaya Smriti is Anubhava Purvika. I have recollection or Smriti of happiness. Therefore, there must be experience of happiness. And for that happiness, no external object was there. Therefore, that happiness in Sushupti, the happiness in deep sleep state, is Atma Sukham alone or Atma Swarupa Sukham alone. That happiness must be the happiness of the nature of Atma. Or this happiness is in the form of the nature of Atma. It is something like, some stinking is happening and outside nothing is there. Therefore, so it's stinking from oneself. That's how we conclude. Even though that will be the last conclusion and a very unpleasant conclusion, but that will be the conclusion. Similarly, Sukha is not there, and Sukha from external source is not there, and Sukha is there. Therefore, it must be from oneself. It is Nishitatva. Kincha. Moreover, Taratam. This one argument is over. So, what was the essence of that argument? That don't say that everybody wants Vaishayika Sukham. That type of rule you don't make. You say everybody wants happiness. That happiness can be Vaishayika Sukham or it can be other Sukham. And what is that other Sukham? Soshupta Sukham. The happiness which is born of this Sushupti Avastha. And therefore, you cannot make a rule Vaishayika Sukham. And the Soshupta Sukham is Atma Swarupam Sukham. And therefore, Atma Swarupa Sukha also people want. That is the point established. Now, second argument is given, like USP argument. USP means unique cell technique, practice that argument. He says, Kincha Taratamyopetam Vaishekam Sukham Sarva Praninam Siddhameva. Moreover, Vaishekam Sukham, object related happiness, Taratamyopetam, endowed with gradation, Sarva Praninam, for all living beings, Siddhameva, is accomplished alone. Everybody has got some object related happiness. Some people from eating, some from music, or whatever, some fragrance. Vaishekam Sukham Siddhameva, everybody has got it. Atahacha, and therefore, Asiddhe means not accomplished so far, unaccomplished. Nitya Niratishaya Ekavida Sukha Prapto Eva Ichha Naisargiki sarva pranina. Therefore, for all living beings, Naisargiki, natural icha is there, desire is there. For what? Nitya Niratishaya Ekavida Sukha Prapto. For all living beings, there is a natural desire for the attainment of happiness which is Nitya, permanent, Niratishaya. Niratishaya means unsurpassable, Ekavida, of one type, of uniform nature. It is there for everybody. What is the idea conveyed here is that everybody has got Vaishayikam Sukha, but he is not happy. In spite of experiencing all kinds of things, people are still feeling incomplete. It means what? That what he wants he has not got. Vaishayikam Sukham he got it, but still he is feeling incomplete. It means what he wants he has not got. So Vaishayikam Sukham he got it, still is incomplete. Means what? Really speaking, he doesn't want Vaishayikam Sukham. जैसे कोई आदमी आता है, he has come for dakshina and you are giving him some food, you are giving some flower, so he will not be happy, satisfied, isn't it? So you understand, he after giving also he is not showing the bright face, वो थोड़ा वही का वही मुंह बना रहा. So it means he did not want that. When you give dakshina, his face is blooming. In Michigan, it happens many times. People come only for dakshina. Food they don't want. क्योंकि food तो अन्य एक जगह पर खा के आया. Sometimes 3-4 places there is a bhandara. So how many times they can eat? तो आके बोल भी देते हैं, बोलो दक्षिणा दे दो. And they understand, each other understanding is that. देखिए, उनको भी क्यों खाली बेचारे को परेशान करना? To eat will be a punishment for him. He has already eaten. In fact, he might have better meal sometimes. So what Siddhant is very interesting point is bringing. That person, everybody has got Vaishayikam Sukham. And still he is not satisfied. It means he has got desire for the happiness which is different from this Vaishayikam Sukham. Vaishayikam Sukham is what? Taratamyopetam, Anityam, Satishayam. So that type of Sukham he has experienced. But he is not satisfied. Therefore what? Naisargiki sarva praninam icha. There is a desire for this particular happiness. What type of happiness? Nitya Niratishaya Ekavidha. And that is what Vedanta is providing. Therefore, that is a USP. We are providing something which is not provided by anyone else. Okay. Tadrisham cha sukham. And that type of happiness, Nitya Siddhatma Swarupa Sukham eva. And that happiness is the happiness which is the nature of Atma, which is Nitya Siddha, which is ever accomplished. That type of Sukha has to be the Swarupa of Atma. This also we need to be very clear. Nitya Sukham cannot be from object outside. Why? Because if it is coming from the object, there has to be a contact between the organ and the object. And contact between organ and object is not possible all the time. He has to sleep also. And therefore, every time the connection will not be sometimes loose connection, sometimes wrong connection, like electricity happens now. And therefore what? If it is coming from the object, it cannot be Nitya. Therefore, if a person wants Nitya Sukha, that Nitya Sukha has to be Atma Sukham only. It has to be the nature of Atma. No other possibility is tenable. Therefore, it says Tadrisham cha Sukham. Nitya Niratishaya Ekavidam Sukham. Nitya Siddha Atma Swarupa Sukham eva. It has to be the happiness which is the nature of Atma, which is Nitya Siddha. And if it is Atma, if Atma also is to be created, then problem. Oh, I want happiness from Atma. Chalo, thoda Atma nikalo. So we have to produce Atma and then get happiness. Then same thing as Vishaya. Therefore, Nitya Siddha Atma Swarupa Sukham eva Tadrisham Sukham. So what I am seeking in my life is permanent, unsurpassable happiness. And that happiness can be only the nature of Atma. And Atma Swarupa Sukham eva cha moksha. And the Sukham, which is the nature of Atma, alone is moksha. Na itarat, not anything else. Moksha is Atma Sukham alone. And therefore what? Tasma sarve api mumukshavaha eva. Therefore all are seekers of freedom alone. Means what? That everybody wants happiness, and that happiness, what the type of happiness everybody wants is Atma Swarupa Sukham alone. And Atma Swarupa Sukham alone is moksha. Therefore everybody wants moksha alone. And those who want moksha are called mumukshu. Therefore what? Sarvepi mumukshavaha eva. Nasti eva mumukshu kaschidapi iti sahasabhatram. The statement that the seeker of freedom is not there at all, any seeker of freedom is not there at all, or anyone is not the seeker of freedom at all, iti vachanam. This type of statement is sahasa matram. Anyone is not a seeker of freedom, or any seeker of freedom is not there. This type of statement is sahasa matram, is audacity. Means it's a thoughtless, courageous statement. Some courageous statement, thoughtless. Like some people know that knowing very little, they will say, Sanskrit में ऐसा होता ही नहीं. He will say that A O I O आया तो I होना ही चाहिए. How come it is not there? He will say, if A O I O are there, then I O have to happen. How come it is not happening? Some printing mistake. This is called sahasama. So thoughtless, courageous statement. Okay, sahasama. Alright, next. Now, so two options were raised in the 47th. Tavat prashtavyam 2. Ki mumukshu eva nasti kaschidapi. For that answer was given. The question was what? Anybody is not a mumukshu? Nobody is mumukshu? Is this what you want to say? For that answer was given. Everybody is mumukshu. You said nobody is mumukshu? We are telling opposite. Everybody is mumukshu. Now second, satyapi mumukshau tasya granthe pravrutti na jayeda. Even though somebody can be mumukshu, even though mumukshu is there, but mumukshu will not have pravrutti in the grantha. That mumukshu will not have engagement in the text. For that answer is given. Sati api mumukshau tasya moksha granthe pravrityanupapattehe tadarambaha vifalaha iti dvitiya api pakshaha na sangachyate. Sati api mumukshau. Even though a seeker of freedom is there, tasya of that seeker of freedom, moksha granthe, in the text dealing with moksha, like Vichara Sagara, pravrityanupapattehe. There is untenability of engagement in the text related to moksha. Tadarambaha vifalaha. Therefore, grantharambaha. Moksha grantha, Vichara Sagara Rupa Moksha grantharambaha vifalaha. Aramba means starting of the text like Vichara Sagara, which is dealing with moksha, freedom, is vifalaha, useless. Iti dvitiya api paksha. In this manner, second view also na sangachyate is also does not go well. Means is not proper. Okay. Here also Siddhanti says, what do you mean when you say this? That even though there can be a mumukshu, but he will not be engaged in your text, and therefore why do you start the text? So when you are saying that, what do you mean by that? Atra vadi prashtavyaha. Here, in this regard, with regard to this objection, the second option, which is in the form of objection, vadi means opponent, prashtavyaha should be asked. That when you are making this objection, what do you mean? Do you mean the first one? Asmin granthe mumukshoho pravritya bhava karanam kim asya granthasya moksha sadhanatva bhavaha va? Asmin granthe, in this text, mumukshoho pravritya bhava karanam, the cause for the non-engagement of mumukshu, non-engagement of seeker of freedom, in this text, what is the cause? Kim asya granthasya moksha sadhanatva bhavaha? Is it that whether this grantha does not have the status of being the means for moksha? Somebody is a mumukshu, but this text is not the means for moksha. Therefore, this mumukshu will not be engaged in the text. Like somebody wants to go to Delhi, but this train is not going to Delhi, so he will not sit in that train. That's all. So is it like this? You want to say that our train is like that? Our text is like that train which is not going to the destination which this fellow wants to go. He wants moksha, and your text is not the means for moksha. Therefore, what? This mumukshu will not be engaged in your text. That's what he said. Kim asya granthasya moksha sadhanatva bhavaha pravritya bhava karanam. Mumukshu not getting engaged in this text because this text is not the means for moksha. Is it what you mean when you say this moksha granthe, mainly referring to Vichara Sagara? Vichara Sagara moksha granthe pravritti abhava, because this Vichara Sagara is not moksha sadhana. Vichara Sagara grantha is not moksha sadhana. Is this what you want to say? Or kimva itaha api utkrishtasya sadhanatamasya granthantarasya sattvam va? Or there is existence of Granthantara, another text like Bhashyam, Shankaracharya's Brahma Sutra Bhashyam, or Advaita Siddhi, or Upanishad Bhashyam, the Anya Grantha, which is Sadhana Taba, which is most effective. And why is it most effective? Itaha api utkrishta, which is more, which is superior to this text. Kim, whether this is the reason. The existence of some another text which is better than this text, Vichara Sagara, and therefore it is more effective or the most effective. The existence of such text, is it the reason for not sadhaka or mumukshu not getting engaged in this text? Is it clear? So second reason is what? There is existence of some other text which is superior to this text and which is most effective. Therefore, people will go for that. Why should you come to you? Even though your text has got moksha sadhanatva. So first possibility was only moksha sadhanatva abhava. Your text is moksha sadhana. But there is some other text which is more what is called having more qualities superior to your text. Therefore, people will go for the best sattva. So existence of some better text which is most effective for getting moksha, and because of that nobody will read your Vichara Sagara. Is this the reason? Okay. Third, Uta Vedanta Grantheshu Yani Sadhanani Shamadhamadini Uktani Adhikari Visheshanattvena Tadrisha Shamadhamadi Sadhana Chatushtaya Sahitasya Jnana Sampadana Yogya Adhikarinaha Ekasya Api Abhavahava. The third reason. He said somebody may be mumukshu. Essence is this. Somebody may be mumukshu, but only mumuksha is not enough. He requires samadhamadi. And there is no one who has got samadhamadi. Therefore, even though your text is very good, but the adhikari which you have mentioned is not that. Therefore, when the person reads, so who is adhikari to benefit from this text? वो शमदमादि संपन्न है तो है ही नहीं तो एक सेंटेंस पढ़ने के लिए 2-4 बार पढ़ना पड़ता to understand one sentence I have to read 2-3 times. I don't have. So that's why a Grantharamba will not be successful. That's what he's telling. Uta or Vedanta Grantheshu, in the Vedanta text, Yani Sadhanani, whichever sadhanas, like Shamadamadini, Shamadama, etc., are told, Uktani, as what? Adhikari Visheshanattvena. It should be connected, Adhikari Visheshana comma, because it goes with the previous one. Adhikari Visheshanattvena Uktani. So Shamadamadini, Shamadamadi, which are told as the qualification of Adhikari, Tadrisha, those Shamadamadi, Sadhana Chatu, Tadrisha Shamadamadi Sadhana Chatushtaya Sahitasya, such person who is endowed with this fourfold qualification, beginning with Shamadamadi, Jnana and thereby Jnana Sampadana Yogya Adhikarina, a person who is qualified person who is fit for the attainment of knowledge, such adhikarinaha ekasya api abhava. Absence of even one qualified person who is fit for the attainment of knowledge, being endowed with the fourfold qualification, start with Shamadamadi, which are mentioned as Adhikari Visheshana, as the qualification, as the adjective for Adhikari. And where are they mentioned? In Vedanta Grantha. So in Vedanta Grantha, Shamadamadis are mentioned, and Shamadamadis are not there with anybody, and therefore this Grantha is useless. So 3 options. One is that this Grantha is not Moksha Sadhana. Second is, this Grantha is Moksha Sadhana, but there are better texts which will be more effective for getting moksha. And third is that even though person may be a mumukshu, but he doesn't have all other qualifications. And therefore not a single person is there who is qualified for studying your book, and therefore Grantharamba is Nishpala. Nadyaha. So first option is not correct. Why? He simple said, Nahi Grantha Moksha Sadhana. He said, no text is the means for moksha. Mera bhi baat nahi. Vichara Sagar, don't talk about it. Any text, highest text you take, no text itself. Text by itself is not the means for moksha. Why? Because jnane na moksha, na tu granthe na moksha. Nowhere it is said by this grantha moksha will happen. Even if it is said, it has to be understood in the sense of knowledge given by the text. Like Mandukyam Ekameva Alam, it is said, so we have to understand the knowledge of Mandukya. Otherwise, if you say Mandukya book is a means for moksha, हमारे ग्रंथ हमारे बुक स्टोर वाले को तो जल्दी मोक्ष हो जाता So Granthena, even chanting those who do it, they also don't get moksha. Therefore, the Grantha is not, any Grantha is not moksha sadhana. Therefore, first thing is not a proper reason that your Grantha is not moksha sadhana. No Grantha is moksha sadhana. So my Grantha being not moksha sadhana is not a reason for not starting the book. So many books have been started, and Sapala Aramba it is considered. And no Grantha is moksha sadhana, still it is started. My Grantha. So even if it is not moksha sadhana directly, still it cannot be the reason for not starting. More will see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Harihi Om.